Yeah, first of all, yes. That's why I say that is they didn't want to take all the talks. That's why they need to have some questions. In any nature of somebody who want to be taking a position, he always has the idea, what we could call it, manifesto. I do have what I call a preamble manifesto, which I will move with it. I could share with you, give you some copies, so that one we can go one by one, but I don't think we have all that time. But if you also, some of you have been visiting my website, those all those articles are there. I don't know that I had with due respect. I started with N Ssebaggala, number Lefa Tomat.
Mayor, you are done with that question? Catherine's question?
No, I'm still going on because there's a more his objective is because I didn't know what is the program. But I don't think we have a long, I could give you a chance to read it through rather than to go around. And at the same time is, I don't know whether the second question, how did you come on this aspect to think about, I think what the question, to think about become the President General of the party. If I was mistaken, I think that's what we've been trying to reach on that point. I just want to inform you that I've been in Democratic Party more than 33 years. I had a chance when I joined the Democratic Party. I did not join as a follower, but as a leader. And since that period, I've been participating in various areas. It was, I think we've been mobilizing, not stopping on just a mistake, not to read Okuzira, not participating in the election. I went to the leadership, I told them our plan, and we sat down, we mobilized, and I stand for the mayorship, which was a very, very contentious issue at that time. And we managed, through our mobilization, to take over the mayorship. I think you're aware I had a problem, but although I was not in the country, through our mobilization, where I was, I supported the Mayor Ssebaggala, and eventually he became the mayor. Not only that, I left the country to come here to study. Because of the election in 2000, I think, which was the election, I postponed my study. I went back and did a media campaign, and Ssebaggala won. Until when I finished my study, I participated with the mayorship. I took it from Honorable Ssebaggala. So I think on that, when you ask that question, I think you're satisfied. If you look at it, we have a program. I do have a program as if somebody who how could you want desire, how could you see that as a DP, I do that. One of the areas, a big problem is to mobilization. To move from town, Kampala, and other, such a kind of these policies and so on and so forth. But as let us say, play, that is, this is the process, let us work it together to make sure that is, although we have the differences, but they cannot define us of ideology of thinking as the one party. I don't think what the children looks like about when you look at my yeah, I think it is one of that one. Yes, I read very carefully the law which we have been talking about. the answer says that yes, you can have a dual citizenship as Ugandans, but you cannot be allowed to start. That's a bit contradictory. If you pay me, I think most of you, the one who financing now our budget. But when we took our money and when it's time to them to stand up and to stand in a position and say that no, we're not allowing you, it's not fair. That's why I say that is, I put it very clearly, say that unconditional dual citizenship. So that one, if we can take over the government, we shouldn't want to have this unconditional citizenship. Whatever, if you want to become a president, you can take it the president, or you can apply to become a member of parliament. Some of you, like Mr. Makumi, has been more here than 30 years. But all his thinking and his knowledge and the understanding is the Ugandans. And they have been contributing a lot. So when we come to the say that is now I'm going to stand maybe a member of parliament and stop him, then it's ridiculous. That's why I say that is we should change the system, say that is unconditional. Why the government fearing you to stand or in any position? First of all, you have more knowledge. Secondly, you can mobilize money. One of the biggest problems now, which is our government, current government, is to make sure that is people they are poor. That's why it's manipulating everybody, which is not very difficult for you. If you come here and then you say that okay, we are going to stand. Those are the kind. And some of you, not stop from here, even those who are buying, you people who are buying lands, if you go deeper on that constitution, which is governing the land, some of you are buying air, because unless they change the law. So, but you should be very careful when you buy the land, and you should be, are you really aspect of to see that you are owner? If I'm a clever man, you buy me the land, and tomorrow I say no, I can deny you to take the land, because there is some crew in the constitution which have never been put in rights. So it's not only the citizenship, but there are so many aspects in the constitution. And we have a culture, Ugandan is not to read. If we read, we just pass through it. But we don't want to understand what is the core on the inside of the constitution. So that one is a very, very aspect. And also I could don't stop from here, but also try to go for the land issue, especially for those who have got two passports on that aspect. Now, I think what is the third? Was another third question.
It was what you think about democracy.
Let me tell you, democracy is the process.
Secretary,
You're very happy now?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay.
Your Worship, Alhaji N Ssebaggala. I'm one of those who have been watching your star rising and rising. And I've been to various events in the UK, fundraising for you to contribute to your endeavors.
Yes.
And
Even in my study.
well,
No, of course, even on my study when I was here.
well, because my parents are taxpayers and we understand the scholarships from the State House, I assume I contributed.
Let me first put that in clear. I never get a scholarship from the State House. That is my contribution.
I see.
With you.
All right. These are some of the things here. You'll be able to clarify that. Yeah, I've been watching your star rising, and I have to salute you.
Thank you.
For the audacity that you came up. You know, we have professors, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have people who are eloquent, but against all odds, you came up and commanded a lot of respect, a lot of support. One really needs to watch the video and the footage of your welcome back from America, regardless of what happened there. And the star was rising and rising and rising. But you know, there's what we call a plateau.
Yes.
And I'm also congratulating you on the high position of the mayor, and that you have the title, your worship. Not everyone is called your worship. So I mean, that's an achievement. These are major achievements. These are not mean feat, and anyone, unless they are really nasty, will have to recognize these achievements, and they're not. In the standards, they're major achievements. However, your worship, in the process, there have been things that I personally have come to view with a degree of trepidation, if you like, and these include, and I don't know what happened in the United States, but there's been it's been documented, and there's been evidence that you've been convicted in the United States and imprisoned.
Yes. Yes.
That's one aspect. The other aspect, your worship, the country. I mean, Mr. Senyo just asked a minute ago about the democracy issues in Uganda at the moment. I am one of those who happen to believe that even though we had high hopes in President Museveni, I think everything that he achieved initially, especially getting rid of the Okellos and the Obotes and all the murderers who murdered our people in Luwero and happened to come from Bulemezi, so that issue is very close to me. And they have subsequently been cancelled out. And in my eyes, and I've spoken to quite a few people, and many people's eyes, Mr. Museveni has not achieved anything. In fact, just look at even the aspects that have been left, including the satellites. Now we can communicate, we can listen to Radio Sapientia, we can listen to CBS, thanks to Mpoma satellite that have been left over 30 years, almost 40 years ago. The Uganda Airlines that Idi Amin left is gone. UTC is gone. The transport system is in chaos. Yes. I raised that issue with Professor Kabwejere Tassis about 4 years ago at the embassy there. And I told him, look, what about these chigatis? They're creating a lot of pollution. Our people, the incidences of cancer, your worship, in Uganda are growing because partly of the pollution. People stand in that terrible atmosphere for hours on end because Kampala City, of which you are mayor, your worship, happens to be the only capital city in the world without a bus service. Whereas when Amin was there, when the previous regimes were there, we had Uganda Transport Company. This would have gone a long way in reducing the pollution, the traffic. And I put that question to Tassis Kabwejere, Professor Tassis Kabwejere, or at the embassy about 3-4 years ago. And he said, oh, they're regionalizing. But I was surprised recently that the government was again going back to that and saying, look, perhaps we need the bus service. So there's a lot of mismanagement. And therefore I think this government has not achieved anything. And I was a bit disappointed to hear you on several occasions recently praising that government. Not once, not twice. I think your worship, you made it a habit of praise.